Hello, my name is Chuck Barnes, and I use the pronouns he, him, and his.
Hello, my name is Valerie Dixon, and I use the pronouns she, her, and hers.
About 18 years ago, I had the honor of standing at a stage and a podium just like this and presenting this award to Mr. Mike Smith, teacher of health at Wilson High School for many years. Several years earlier, he took a busload of high school students to the mountains that included 2 students, myself and tonight's honoree. I won't make you do the math. It was a long time ago. That weekend was filled with a lot of painful, yet powerful and honest conversation. We learned that through respectful communication, the pain didn't have to be the end of the conversation. It was the beginning of a lifelong educational experience for me, and I'm positive our honoree would echo that. The evidence is that she and I are still involved with the program today. Through these years, I've come to know her as an ally in the work to dismantle oppressive isms. But more than that, she's become an accomplice in eliminating the isms where she holds privilege. The difference between her being an ally and an accomplice is that she's just not standing on the sidelines in theoretical agreement with the struggle. She's consistently putting herself on the front lines for the well-being of folks that look nothing like her, yet still managing to avoid centering herself to make it about her and her efforts.
So how do you describe a person like this? A person who makes you see and understand the world in a new way. Someone who is startlingly insightful and brilliantly brave and unflinchingly willing to physically, emotionally, and mentally occupy uncomfortable spaces with grace and humility, and loves others with an honesty that is amazeballs, to borrow her terminology. You do it by saying this is a woman who is equally hilarious and wise, who makes me laugh when I cannot cry, and lets me cry until my strength returns. This is one of my dearest friends and co-conspirators in actively working to disrupt oppression and ensure equity is a verb and not just a noun. There are literally hundreds of young people who have been and are inspired by her as a teacher, as a facilitator, but most importantly, as a person. Many of them are in this room tonight. Whether it's listening to her explain public policy or mineral deposits in rocks or how fragility upholds supremacy, it is done with her unwavering passion, her unique vocabulary, and her authentic, genuine belief in making this world better. Every single day, she takes risks that her privilege says she does not have to take. And she doesn't want recognition. No, she simply wants a better world for all of us. It is a blessing to know her, and we are so thankful to have known and worked with this woman all these years.
Mr. Smith would be so proud to hear these words. The Gene Lentzner Human Relations Award for 2019 goes to our friend, Marianne Drummond.
Hey. You get gorgeous, beautiful people out there. They're lovely, lovely. Thank you so very much. But really, I'm not standing here for my own genius or innovation. I just show up at the shoulder blades of giants, and I follow their leadership. It is because of them that I'm standing here, and some of them are in this room. They should be here, not me. It's been an amazing and a powerful experience to engage in this work with folks who hold myriad identities of our collective humanity and community, many outside of my own. People who have been impacted by the system in ways that I have not. There are folks who have risked more organized better, have better clarity of voice than I do, than I could ever drum up, that are so much more clever than I am, because of their experience and their insights. And their insights resonate with me in ways that I too am impacted. The relationships built and the trust and honesty shared are deeply held and valued in my heart, and they inspire me to keep showing up in perfect imperfection. So I just want to talk about what called me to action. And I don't know if this sounds familiar to anyone, but paying attention and paying attention and paying attention and paying attention, and sometimes feeling frustrated and sometimes feeling angry or feeling hopeless, and then Tamir Rice, and that was it, and that was that all that I had to. I knew I had to do more. I had to dig deeper. I had to get involved with work that gets at the root of injustice, and join the effort to dismantle that. So for me, that meant listening and witnessing and following leadership of those who are most impacted, and doing my own homework, and seeking to understand what folks have been saying for a very long time, and that my privilege didn't let me hear, or I sat in my privilege and didn't interrogate and investigate, right? So then I did, and really dug in, and finding, like thinking, for example, forget examples. I'm over it. Finding space with folks who hold the same identities, so that I can also process what I'm learning, is a really important piece of doing this work. And being accountable to solidarity partners, and just showing up. And I'd like to take this opportunity to call everyone in this room to engage with the kind of community education, insight, and activation that seeks to dismantle injustice. Whether it's injustice that directly impacts us, or showing up in accomplishship or allyship, or however you may show up. In all ways, even when we think we aren't affected, we are, by the injustices that are inflicted on our friends, our neighbors, youth, colleagues, family members who hold identities outside of our own. Everything that represents our whole community affects and impacts our whole community. When we push back, we all benefit. Y'all are probably familiar with Martin Niemoyer, First They Came, the poem First They Came for Me, or Came for the Trade Unionists. Please take a moment to swim in how present that message is, and consider, do we want to emulate the kind of silence that he is speaking of? The truth, here's the truth. We're here, and honestly, we've never really left. The world might feel newly disrupted for some of us, and that might feel really uncomfortable, and that's really good. That's truly good stuff. It's the kind of stuff that motivates us to move and educate ourselves and collaborate and get collaborative with our action. And the way out of discomfort is to witness and listen and explore with curious questions with folks who hold the same identities. Google some stuff. Educate ourselves. Get a lot or a little frustrated, and then engage in a newly informed and intentional way. and maybe one that it's a little bit outside of your comfort zone. There really are constructive and healthy answers that include us all. There really is enough for everyone. Let's all show up. Thank you.